Hello. Now I'm going to tell about data model and categories of data model. As you see, data model is a collection of conceptual tools for describing data relationships, data semantics, and consistency constraints. That means a data model provides a way to describe the design of a database. Data models are widely used in database management systems to demonstrate how data is related, stored, retrieved, and modified to depict information using a set of symbols and a terminology so that members of an organization may understand and comprehend it for communicating. As you see, data model based building blocks. Entity. An entity is anything about which data are to be collected and stored. An entity represents a particular type of object in the real world. As coming to the entity set of entities of same type of that share the same properties are called as entity sets. Attribute. An attribute is a characteristic of an entity. Constraints. Constraint is a restriction based on the data. Constraints are important because they help to ensure the data integrity. As coming to relationships, a relationship describes an association among entities. Different types of relationships are one to one, one to many, many to one. As you see, for one to one relationship, this is the diagram. Based on the diagram, we can understand one to one relationship. In this, each object has relationship with other object. As we see in one to many relationship, every object has more than one relationship. As we see many to many relationship, the left hand side object has many relationships with the right hand objects, and the right hand objects many relationships with the left hand objects. As we move to hierarchical model, the hierarchical model classifies the data into a tree-like structure with a single parent or root for each record. Sibling records are arranged in a certain sequence. This is a physical order in which the database is stored. This model is useful for explaining a wide range of real-world interactions. As we see the diagram, we can understand clearly what is the hierarchical model. It depicts a set of one to many relationships between a parent and its children segments. From one to many, hierarchical model contains one to many relationships. Advantage of hierarchical model. It is very simple and fast to traverse through a tree-like structure. Any change in the parent node is automatically reflected in the child node, so the integrity of data is maintained. Disadvantages. Complex relationships are not supported. Complex. As we say, complex relationships are not supported by this hierarchical model. If a parent node is deleted, then the child node is automatically deleted. If you from the tree, if we delete a parent node, then automatically its child nodes are getting deleted. This is one of the disadvantages of hierarchical model. Network model. This paradigm is an expansion of the hierarchical model. It comes from the network model comes from hierarchical model. It was the most prevalent model prior to the relational model. The main difference between this model and the hierarchical approach is that a record can have several parents. It replaces the hierarchical tree with a graph. In the sample below, we can see that node student has two parents, CSC department and library. This was previously not allowed in the hierarchical model. As you see, this is the diagram for network model. We can understand clearly advantages of this model. Data integrity is present since there is a parent-child connection. Any changes made to the parent record are mirrored in this child record. As we see um, in network model, if um, if we modify the parent node, then it's a child node get defaultly modified. Disadvantage of network model. In as additional relationships are added, the system may get increasingly complicated. To operate with the model, a user needs to have full understanding of it. As we see, disadvantages of network model are if we haven't know about the network model, it is very difficult for us. Any modification such as an update, deletion, or insertion is quite difficult. It is not as easy as possible in the hierarchical model. Entity relationship model. The entity relationship model, sometimes known as the ER model, is a high-level data model diagram. We express the real-world program in a visual form in this model to make it easier for stakeholders to grasp. The ER diagram also makes it extremely simple for developers to comprehend the system. The ER diagram is a visual tool used to depict an ER model. The ER diagram is made up of three parts. Entity relationship model. Advantages. Effective communication tool. This model is used widely by the database designers. As we see, entity relationship model is widely used by the database designers for communicating their ideas. Disadvantages. Hidden information. Some information might be lost or hidden in the ER model, as it is a high-level view. So there are the chances that some details of information might be hidden. Relational model. The most common model is relational model. The data in this model is kept in the form of a two-dimensional table. All data is saved in the form of rows and columns. Tables are foundation of a relational paradigm. In the relation paradigm, the tables are also referred as a relations example. We have an employee table in this example. As you see in this relational model, the data can be present in the form of rows and columns. Advantages of a relational model. Simple. This model is more simple as compared to the network and a hierarchical model. Scalable. This model can be easily scaled as we can add as many rows and columns we want. It is simple to add or modify the data in relational model when compared to the other data models. Disadvantages. For hiding the complexities and making things easier for the user, this model requires more powerful hardware, computers, and storage devices. Object-oriented model. A database, according to the paradigm, is a collection of objects or reusable software parts with related characteristics and operations. By the diagram, we can clearly understand the object-oriented database model. Advantage. Complex data sets can be saved and retrieved quickly and easily. Object IDs are assigned automatically. Works well with the object-oriented programming language. Semantic content is added. Support for complex objects. Visual representation includes semantic content. Disadvantages are object object databases are not widely adopted. In some situations, the high complexity can cause performance problems, high system overheads, slow transaction. As for we discuss about the data models.